Okay, these are the notes for solving systems of equations, but this time you're going to do what's called the elimination method. This is the third and final method. So we've already done graphing. If it's graphing, they both need to be in y equals mx plus b form. Substitution usually means that one of the variables, the x or the y, is already by itself. Elimination is nice because normally everything lines up, which means they're in standard form. There's an x, then a y, then an equal sign, then a number. So with elimination, what you need to do is see if there's an x or a y that eliminates. So if I look at this first example here, I see the x's are going to eliminate each other. A negative 4x and a 4x, they cancel or eliminate each other. Cancel and eliminate mean the same thing. So for elimination, all you need to do is draw a line, and I always put a plus sign here, and just add straight down. Everything should be lined up. X's go with x's, y's go with y's, equal sign goes with equal sign, and the number by itself goes with the number by itself. So if I combine these here, they just eliminated or canceled. I don't need to write anything. What's a negative 2y and a plus 8y? That should be a positive 6y. Now, negative 12 and a negative 24 combined is a negative 36. To solve for y, simply divide by 6. So y is equal to negative 36 divided by 6 is negative 6. Remember, you're finding where these two lines hit each other. We're looking for a coordinate, an x and a y coordinate. Right now I got the y coordinate. I still need to find the x coordinate. How could I solve for the x coordinate? Plug it back in. You can either plug it into the first one or the second one. It does not matter. I would choose the second one because there's less negatives, which is less of a chance for a mistake. So if I rewrite the second one, it was 4x plus 8y equals negative 24. I'm simply going to plug in the negative 6 right here for y. So it's 4x plus 8 times negative 6 equals negative 24. 4x, what's 8 times negative 6? Minus 48 equals negative 24. How do you get rid of a minus 48? Plus 48. Add it to both sides. And you get 4x equals, what's 48 and a negative 24? That's a positive 24. And what's 24 divided by 4? X equals positive 6. So the real answer to this problem is the coordinate positive 6, negative 6. There's your answer there. Okay? All right, let's go to number 2. Same thing. Draw a line. See if anything eliminates. If I look at the x's, an x and a 2x don't eliminate or cancel each other, but a minus y and a plus y do. So these just canceled each other. Add straight down. X plus 2x is 3x equals, what's 11 plus 19? 30. How do you solve for x? Divide by 3. 30 divided by 3, x is equal to 10. Now, you got to solve for y, so it's up to you, whichever one you want to plug it back into. The first one or the second one, I'm just going to use the second one, it doesn't matter. That's 2x plus y equals 19. Well, if x is 10, isn't that 2 times 10 is 20 plus y equals 19? How are you going to get y by itself? Subtract 20. 19 minus 20, y equals negative 1. So your answer is the coordinate. X is 10, comma, y is negative 1. There's your answer. Okay? Now, look at number 3. Sometimes you got to do a little bit of work to make one of the equations satisfy what we're looking for. Right now, the x's don't cancel. A minus 6x and a minus 6x don't cancel. The y's don't cancel. But if I multiplied either the top one or the bottom one by a negative 1, that would give me a positive 6x, and then the x's would cancel. So I'm going to have to use distributive property. Negative 1 times negative 6x is 6x. Negative 1 times 3y is a minus 3y. Don't forget to distribute the negative 1 over here too. Negative 1 times negative 12 is positive 12. Now, the top equation, I didn't do anything to it, so I'm just going to slide it right over and just rewrite it. Now, draw your line, plus sign. Now the x's cancel, so you don't need to write anything. 6y minus 3y is 3y. 6 plus 12 is 18, and divide by 3. Y is equal to 6. Now, to solve for x, you could plug it back into the first one, the second one. You could even plug it into the one here that you manipulated. It doesn't matter. You should get the same answer. I'm going to plug it into the first one. So it should have been negative 6x plus 6 times y, which is 6, equals 6. So negative 6x plus 36 equals 6. How are you going to get rid of the plus 36? Minus 36. And looks like you got negative 6x equals 6 minus 36 is negative 30. Divide both sides by negative 6, and you should get x is equal to positive 5. So your solution, where do these two lines hit each other? At the coordinate 5 and 6. Okay? All right, let's go to number 4. It's up to you. If you want to get rid of the x's, you need a number that 5 and 10 go into, which would be 10. Or if you want to get rid of the y's, you could simply multiply the top one by 7. It's entirely up to you. I'm going to get rid of the x's. So remember, if I multiply this by 2, it gives me a positive 10x. Well, 10x and a 10x don't cancel, so I need to multiply this by a negative 2. So that would give me negative 10x minus 2y equals, remember, negative 2 times 9 is negative 18. You didn't do anything to the second one, so slide it directly under. You got 10x minus 7y equals negative 18. Now, the x's eliminated each other, and minus 10x and a 10x cancel. What's a negative 2y minus 7y? That's minus 9y or negative 9y. What's negative 18 and a negative 18 combined? That's negative 36. Divide by negative 9. And you should have y is equal to 4. And again, if y is equal to 4, I would probably plug it into the top one. Less work. So I got 5x plus y equals 9 if y is equal to 4. And then again, what are you going to do? Subtract 4 from both sides. 5x equals 5, which means x equals 1. So where did these two hit each other? At the coordinate 1, 4. All right? All right, the last two are special cases. They are either going to be where two lines never touch each other. That's called no solution because they're parallel. Or it's going to be the same line on top of the same line, and that's called infinite solutions. All right, so if it's parallel, that's called no solution. All right, so let me clear that off. Let's rewrite it. Okay, I'm going to try to eliminate the x's. And again, a number that 2 and 5 go into would be 10. Well, the bottom one's already negative. So I'm going to multiply the top one by 5. And I'm going to multiply the bottom one by 2. That makes both of my x's. One of them's a 10x, the other one's a minus 10x. So if I distribute, I got 10x plus 40y equals 30. Then on the bottom, I got negative 10x. 2 and a negative 20 is minus 40y equals negative 30. But the problem is, when I add everything, I get 10x minus 10x is 0, 40y minus 40y is 0, and 30 minus 30 is 0. Whenever everything cancels, what that means is you have the same equation sitting on top of the same equation, So if everything cancels and you get all zeros, that's called infinite solutions. Okay? And I am going to graph that one for you real quick just so you'll see it. So I'm going to go to Desmos, and I'm going to type in, for the first one, 2x plus 8y equals 6. And then the second one was negative 5x minus 20y equals negative 15. Right now the first one's in red, the second one's in blue. Watch what happens when I make it a 15. They sit on top of each other. Okay? So if it's one line sitting on top of another line, it's called infinite solutions. Okay? And last one, let's look at it. I think an easy way to do this would simply be to multiply one of these by a negative 1. That would cancel the x's. So that would make that negative x. That would make that minus 2y equals negative 1 times negative 12 is positive 12. I didn't do anything to the top equation, so I'm just going to slide it over and line it up. But again, here's the problem. X minus x is 0. 2y minus 2y is 0. 8 plus 12 is 20. Well, 0 doesn't equal 20. So what happens is, if the variables cancel, but the number doesn't, that's called no solution. What that means is, if I graph these, I'm going to have two parallel lines. So this is called no solution. All right? So you had x plus 2y equals 8, and x plus 2y equals negative 12. I'm going to graph them on Desmos just to show that it's two parallel lines. So, get rid of these. All right, so you had x plus 2y equals 8, and x plus 2y equals negative 12. And there it is. Those lines will never touch each other. If those lines never touch each other, that's called no solution, okay? And again, look at the difference between the two. Infinite solution, you get all zeros. No solution, you have no variables, but you do have a number still, all right? And that's the difference between the two. All right, make sure you check the folder for the quizzes assignment, and make sure you do that as many times as you can so you can get as many extra credit points as possible. All right, see you.